What's going on, guys? It's your boy TBG and we're back at it with another video. But in today's video, I'm going to be going through a little bit more of our article series. These are going to be the first couple videos on the channel, and then I'll get into normal things, but that's at another time. This article today is by Bill Barnwell, an ESPN article. I love reading ESPN articles, and it is about the Carson Wentz injury. Now, if you guys don't know who Carson Wentz is, but if you live in Philadelphia or watch any football, you know who Carson Wentz is. He's the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, number 11. And he left Sunday's game late in the fourth with an ACL injury, which is basically a tear in the knee. So he most likely will be done until the preseason next year. So what does this mean for the Eagles? I like how Bill Barnwell kind of put that. He was like, the Eagles can be a scary team. They just have to respond. They've been a very resilient team this year, losing Darren Sproles, Jason Peters, a lot of those guys. And they had Corey Clement come in and running back, Wendell Smallwood at running back. They've had Isaac Seumalo go to the left side, Vaitai go to the left side. And I really like that. They're a resilient team. Doug Peterson even touched on that in the press conference. Barnwell failed to put that in there, but it happened after the fact, so I don't give him any hate for that. He was like, this is my team now that I have to get together. Nick Foles is the backup quarterback. Nick Foles led us to the playoffs a couple years ago in 2013, and we lost in the first round. I've been saying that the entire way they were losing in the first round if they didn't get home field advantage. And the Eagles are the number one team right now. Their odds in Vegas are 4-1, but after the Wentz injury, they went to 14-1. They're still ahead of the Seahawks, the Rams, Jacksonville, but that doesn't really mean anything. They had a 20% chance of winning. Now it's down to 6.7. And I'm going to leave the link down below in the description to the article. You can see a lot of charts and a lot of videos at the top. And it's a question-based article, which I like that Bill Barnwell actually did that, because it gets you thinking personally and taking his opinion into consideration. He touched on, will they add another quarterback? They have to. I think really at this point, they have to go get somebody. I know they dropped Mike Glennon in the preseason, either this year or last year. They've had him before. They traded Matt Barkley, so they don't have him. I doubt they will get Kaepernick, or they're just going to keep who they have in their system. The torn ACL, it ruins Wentz's year, but not the Eagles. I think if the Eagles can stay the number one seed, and they have a 93% chance of being the number one seed, and that's by Football Power Index. If they stay the number one seed, they get a bye in the first round, and they have 2 home games to get to the Super Bowl. Philadelphia has passionate fans, passionate. They will jump on the Eagles if they are doing something wrong. And I think that's going to help the Eagles to get to the Super Bowl. I did not think they were going to make the Super Bowl. I don't think they are going to win the Super Bowl. I personally would have my money on the New Orleans Saints, just of what I've seen from them, and I've said this about week 4 that they had a shot. The next 3 games for the Eagles, the Giants, the Raiders, and the dreaded Cowboys. The Giants are one of the worst teams in football. They should beat them. The Raiders, they play on Christmas. I said they were going to win. That's up for you guys kind of to really think. Look at the Raiders. They're a very good team. Last I checked, they were 6-6, and they were tied with the Chargers and the Chiefs for first place in the West. Then we have the Cowboys. They're going to have Ezekiel Elliott back. What does that mean? It's tougher for the Eagles because the Eagles defense gave up a ton of points in the last game. If they keep on doing that, they're going to lose those games. Nick Foles, his career with the Eagles, 60% completion percentage. So he completes 60% of his passes, where Wentz is probably 68 maybe. Good years. 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Wentz had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions before he left that game. 4,300 yards for Nick Foles. He came into that game on Sunday and dropped the ball the first play. Every Eagle fan in the world's heart dropped once they saw that. With the Eagles being the scariest home team, I would say, is going to motivate them to keep playing the way that they have been. I do not think they are going to skip a beat, but they have to change their offense. Their offense has to be completely revamped. You have a mobile, big quarterback in Carson Wentz who can break 2 or 3, sack, quote-unquote, plays and turn them into big gains. You're not going to get that with Nick Foles. He's that pocket passer who really isn't bad, but he's not great. You're not going to have Carson Wentz and then Nick Foles is the Tom Brady. He's more of like the Blake Bortles, the Andy Dalton, and you're going to find that in the article if you click it down in the description. In this time, you want to keep thinking about MVP. Carson Wentz was the favorite for MVP. Then he goes down. New England has Tom Brady. They lost to Miami. 3 interceptions for Russell Wilson. He goes down. Who do you have that's the MVP of the league? It'll end up being Tom Brady because New England basically gets everything. But Carson Wentz, if he would have stayed, probably would have had 40 or so touchdowns, maybe 10 interceptions. So that's a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception. That's insane. When I say insane, I mean insane. Nobody has done that. I would say probably the closest would probably be Dan Marino with a 14-2 Dolphins team. That's a name. That's a big name right there. Dan Marino. Just this injury tears Wentz and a little bit of the Eagle fans. But the Eagles have to respond. They have to. I think what Bill did in this was fantastic. He hinted questions, made us think. He makes us see that this is an injury to Wentz, but not the Eagles. The Eagles have to be resilient. They have to be strong, and they have to keep playing Eagle football. And I'm going to close on one last thing, and I've said it multiple times. If the Eagles can stay the number 1 seed, they will most likely go to the Super Bowl. Their first opponent would most likely be the Seattle Seahawks, and you do not want to play them in Seattle. So that's what I'm going to end on. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like down below. Leave a comment as well for more articles. But that's all for me, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.